All right. Welcome in Toilets to Titles. This is episode number 161. This is the first Dynasty Fantasy Football Startup Mock Draft of 2023 for the Toilets to Titles crew. And you know how we roll. When we do big mocks, man, we like to bring on a big crew. We like to bring on some good guests. So I was mingling this week, sending out some feelers, getting some guys on, and I was able to corral a few excellent guests. And I'm going to introduce them shortly. But first, let me introduce my main man, my right-hand guy, Justin Stevens, at JustinFF_. Justin, what's happening?
Hey, good evening, fellas. It's great to be back after the NFL season. This is where many of you guys shine. Many of you Dynasty guys. Obviously, I'm not a Dynasty guy, so I'll be in the green room. I'll be running the sleeper board. I'll be doing whatever you guys need. Hit me in the private chat. But this is where you guys shine. So this is why we try to bring on the best. And if any of you know any of the guys on this panel and not the other ones, you need to make sure you follow the other ones because this is some of the best right here.
Excellent. Yes, Justin will be in the background doing the Lord's work because we got a 12-team mock. There's 6 of us mocking, and we can only input one selection each. So he's got to put in the other picks, and he's working it all out. So we're going to be moving quick, and he's going to be moving even quicker to keep up with us. My other guy from Toilets to Titles, at George Reed FF on the Twitter. George, what's cooking?
Not much. Super excited. I got my well, you can't even see it because of the green screen, but I got my bag of Reese's Pieces here in honor of our trip to the Reese's Senior Bowl. Cannot wait. Let's get this mock going, though. Let's go.
Yeah, man. I was going to talk on that in a little bit, but we
are
on
screen if we're breaking the news now.
Yeah. I guess we're gonna break it out. We got our credentials for the Reese's Senior Bowl, and we have a lot of things in the work. George, Justin, Nino, Jared, and I think that is the whole crew. We're going to be going down there. And Dennis, Dino is going to be going there as well. KT, CFB Nation, and Real Ones Production. So I cannot wait, man. We're going to have a blast. We're going to be covering a lot of content. I think we're going to start the Senior Bowl content 2 weeks prior to going out there, leading up to it, talking about players we're excited about, all that good stuff. And that kind of leads me into the next guy. And that's John Laub at Gridiron Scholar 91, who's already releasing Senior Bowl content. So, John, why don't you tell me how you're doing? And then let me know where we'll actually let everyone know where they can find your content and what you're working on.
Well, thanks for having me on again. It's much appreciated. I think it's 5 years now that I've known you, Coach. We met a while ago. Time goes by quickly. But I feel more prepared. This is my 10th year doing the Scholars Study Sheets for footballdiehards.com. It is the 6th year of putting out video content. There's a 3rd year starting with the Senior Bowl. I'm way ahead of where I've ever been, so I feel really good about the Senior Bowl participants. We just came out with the running backs last week, and I'm working on wide receivers this week. So I'm looking forward to this Dynasty season, this draft class. I like it. I'm really prepared to talk about it. I'm pretty excited to draft the Dynasty team this early.
Man, I can't believe it's been 5 years.
I'm pretty sure it's been a while, my man.
Was I just kind of creeping in your DMs?
I mean, let's not use the word creeping, but I do think you reached out to me.
Yeah.
So I remember you reached out and, you were cool. So you invited me on your show and we keep inviting me back. So I guess I'm doing something right.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
John, we're totally going with the word creeping, by the way. we're not going to overlook that. No, we're 100% going with Coach was creeping in your DMs. Thank you for that, John. I appreciate it.
For sure. And ma'am, anytime you come on, it's electric. It is electric. And Justin commented below in the little blurb that he's a history teacher, and history teachers are always cool. Like it's one of like the prerequisites. If you're going to be a history teacher, you have to be cool, man. So John, you're cool. We're very grateful to have you on. I'm then going to pass it off to Shay at Shay. Tweeted that on the Twitter. Shay, tell everybody how you're doing and let everybody know where they can find your content, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Firstly, I want to say
that's Jay, not Shay.
All right. Firstly, I just want to say, Coach and everyone, thanks for having me on tonight. I'm looking forward to this mock draft. I've been following the Toilets to Title crew for like about 10 months now, and I really enjoy the content, so I'm happy to be here. You can find me on E2G Sports. I currently have 2 podcasts. One is a fantasy football podcast called The Night Shift, which is actually Tuesday. So after this at 9:30, I'll be there. And then I just started a Ramsaholic podcast where I talk everything Rams. So yeah, you can find me there on E2G Sports on YouTube, and then on Twitter, you can see my right under my face here at Shay tweeted that. And yeah, thanks again for having me on, guys.
Man, it's been a long time coming, and Shay's a big supporter of the show. He's been in the patron. He played the Frankenstein Listener League. So, man, we are grateful to have you on. And I've been kind of trying to work this out and get this going. I'm so glad that we were. And you are a Ramsaholic, man. Sometimes my Twitter feed looks like Ramsaholic and you are diehard. You don't like me. I would say, like, as a Cowboys fan, I wish for the best, but I think I would say I'm more pessimistic, and I think that's just over time. But man, you for sure, like you bleed blue and yellow, and I gotta respect the hell out of that, man. And you guys won a ship last year, so nobody can tell you anything right now. You know what I'm saying? So hell yeah, and it is a little confusing because we have a Shay, and then we have that Shay followed by a J, and those are two things that sound very similar. It's @_Jason Stein on the Twitter. How we doing, and where can everyone find your content and your work? Oh, Jay froze. There he is. You hear us, buddy?
Yeah. Hey, man. Sorry about that. Internet's a little weird right now, but yeah, thank you so much. You can find my content on the Dynasty Nerds. I write the Intelligent Fantasy Football Investor series there. I also do analytical Devi work. I do that for the Dynasty Nerds, and then the Devi Royale. The Devi Royale, I do a podcast that comes out every Wednesday, and then we got a YouTube series that's the first one I got coming out on Thursday. And then yeah, thank you so much for having me on. The first experience I've had with you guys was the Frankenstein League as well, where I got invited by Nino into the league. So yeah, I had a really fun time playing this last year with you guys.
Looking forward to bringing you back. We're actually going to be doing our Frankenstein. So we do 2 or 3 Frankenstein episodes during the off season. Usually the first one is kind of unraveling it, you know what I mean? And seeing what worked and what didn't work. So we're going to be doing that, I think, next week. And then probably within 2 or 3 months, let's say, we'll probably do one where we'll just brainstorm. Like we'll just throw ideas out, and then the guys, you'll notice there'll be like a bunch of fishing poles, and the guys will be constantly trying to reel me back in because I get going. And when I take these little ideas, and last year I had some crazy thoughts, man. They thought they were reeling me in, and actually led to even more crazy nonsense like the playable cards, which was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to year 3 rather. So stay tuned. And also, don't be afraid to DM me if you think we need to add some rules or adjust some rules, man. So, and we also have at DWC Memphis, my good friend Randers, who's going to be hopping in here shortly. He's just pulling daddy duty right now, so he's got to get that done. He'll be on in time to mock draft. Besides that, however you're listening, if you could go to the YouTube, like, subscribe to the show, throw some comments. That helps. If you have Apple Podcasts, throw us a 5-star review. That helps as well. If you like the show and you want to support the show, those are a few great things you can do. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/toilets and titles. Tier 1 is $3. Tier 5 is $20. Tons of content, tons of things we offer. If you go to patreon.com/toilets and titles, you'll be able to see all that. You'll get an opportunity to get into the Discord chat. You can hop on some shows. You can get some mock drafts. You can interact with the guys. Even some T-shirts, hats, pins, stickers, magnets. Like we're constantly just sending out random stuff. So get in there, get a chance to help the show, support the show, and get you some merch. Also, if you have a chance, and if you did subscribe to the YouTube channel, go back and check out the mock draft we did in episode 160. So that was Thursday. So it's not the full final updated draft order, but it was leading into last weekend. And it was like we had like 6, 7, or I think actually 10 analysts at one point. One of them was Barry. Shay knows Barry. And we each picked for a few NFL teams. There's a lot of good content on there, so you're not going to want to miss it. And last but not least, this is second to last. Go to toiletsandtitles.com. We have tons of content on there. We're actually affiliates with Amazon now, Fanatics, Homage. So we got all these affiliates. If you want to purchase some gear, you can go to toiletsandtitles.com. Get yourself some gear, and that also supports the show. And then this is the last thing. We're running a playoff league on myfantasyleague.com. Payments through League Safe. It's $15 to enter. $2 goes to the show. And then the final $13 from every entry goes towards the pot. First place gets the pot. Second place gets a $25 gift card to Fanatics. The way it works is you could start every player once throughout the playoffs. So once a player is eliminated, you can't select them anymore. Once you started them, you can't select them anymore. And your point total adds up every week until the Super Bowl. The team with the most points wins the Super Bowl. And we have like 55 teams in there right now. We're trying to get up to 100. Deadline is Friday. So I think that is it. I can kind of announce this now, but we'll probably announce it next week. But I did win the Games of the Week challenge. All right, I'm just gonna announce that now. I won 181 to Justin's 211. We'll get more into that next week. We're gonna start the mock draft now. All right, we're gonna try to keep this an hour. It's this is gonna be 10 rounds. It's PPR. It's super flex. We wanted rookies included because it is Dynasty. Sleeper doesn't have the rookies in there yet. So what we did is we decided we're going to put in bogus names, like guys that wouldn't get drafted. We'll announce the pick, and then just for sleeper purposes, we'll just put in a random player. We'll continue on the draft, and that way you'll be able to hear where we think these rookies should be going. And this is really before the big scouting part of the season. The Senior Bowl is coming up, then comes the Combine, then comes the interviews, all that good stuff. So this is just after the tape, which really you should just trust the tape. The Senior Bowl helps. The Combine is whatever it is. It's more so about the interviews than what they actually do on the field. But the Senior Bowl helps, but mainly it's the tape. And we're making this draft after the tape and before all the nonsense. So, gentlemen, with that being said, the first mock draft of the 2023 year starts off. John Laub, the Gridiron Scholar, you were on the clock with the first overall selection.
I'm taking Jamar Chase, Bengals. And the reason I chose him over Justin Jefferson was simply because of Joe Burrow. I feel more confident in Joe Burrow than I do in Kirk Cousins in the long run. They're a year apart, so I'll take Chase, the 22-year stud. 22-year-old stud.
And I am going to reiterate, it's super flex. And I know that doesn't fit, just so everybody knows, so we don't, just so you know now, starting PPR super flex. All right, and then Team 2 is on the clock, and Team 2 is Shay. So you're going to announce this pick, and Justin's going to put it in for you, buddy.
All right, so since this is super flex, I'm definitely going to grab a quarterback here. To me, the obvious pick here is Josh Allen.
Oh, there it is. Josh Allen is off the board. So now we got Jamar Chase. We got Josh Allen. George Reed, you're on the clock with the third selection.
Well, I can honestly say at the third selection, I was not expecting to see Patrick Mahomes staring at me. I was planning on actually going Jalen Hurts at 3, but I'm not going to pass up Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to take him at number 3.
Man, now I'm on the clock, and you mentioned Hurts, but I see Burrow there, and there's just nothing. I like Herbert. I like Burrow. Then I like Hurts. I know Hurts has the opportunity to score a lot of points, but I just love that offense with Joe Burrow. And it's 2 years in a row now that he's done it. Whereas Hurts, I want to see Hurts do it again next year. So that being said, give me Hurts. I'm sorry. That was a Freudian slip. That being said, give me Joe Burrow at the 4th overall selection. And then I'm going to see if a Sweet Randers is available. Randers, you hear me, my guy? He's moving. You hear me, buddy?
Yes, I do. Give me 1 second. I'm logging into my computer.
X, I'm just going to tell you, Chase, Allen, Mahomes, and Burrow are gone. So you can announce this selection, and Justin will put it in for you.
Perfect. I will take Mr. Justin Herbert.
Boom. Justin Herbert is gone. And then, Jason, you are on the clock with the 6th selection.
Yeah, I'll take Jalen Hurts, please.
All right.
Thank
so
you.
now we have a run. We've gone Chase, then it's been Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, Herbert, Jalen Hurts, and then with the 7th selection. So now we're all selecting for 2 teams, but I want you to know each team is clearly different. So you could have different strategy, whatever you want, or you can go with the same strategy and just see which spot works out the best. But Shay, you were on the clock with your 2nd team.
Here I'm going to go Justin Fields.
I see Uncle Steven here. We call him Funkle Steven. Funkle Steve, we're going to miss you this year. Usually he goes with us to Canton. He goes when the kids head out of town, we go away. Funkle Steve watches over us. He's the chaperone. We're not going to have the chaperone on this trip, so hopefully we don't get too out of hand. But Justin Fields off the board after Jalen Hurts. I like that. That's bold. But, he's a quarterback, man. He can play, and maybe you expect him to progress like Jalen Hurts progress. I don't think there's any reason not to think that could happen, especially with the Chicago Bears having an early pick. And I think the Chicago Bears shipped that pick to get, some extra players to build around him. All right, with the 8th selection, George Reed with your team 2.
Yeah, so I'm going to put an end to this quarterback run here. I'm going to take the number 1 skill position player I have on my big board, and that is going to be Mr. Justin Jefferson.
All right, so Chase and Jefferson, 2 LSU wide receivers off. One went before the quarterback run, one went after the quarterback run, and then John Laub, the gridiron scholar. You don't get to take Jefferson. Who you take?
Yeah, I was wondering if I could get lucky there at number 9. But I will take then my stud. I'm hoping that they change coaches and make improvements. I'm going to take CeeDee Lamb here. As long as Dak stays with him, I love CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb, to start the season, I was a little nervous. I didn't see the alpha mentality. But, man, and Randy will tell you, I did an excerpt for Dynasty Warzone, which Randy's a part of. Well, Randy runs that. I told him, he had me tell him, what would I trade what would I trade for CeeDee Lamb, or what would I trade CeeDee Lamb for? And I'm not even going to mention it because it was bogus. And CeeDee Lamb, Kellen Moore started to game plan him. He's like wide receiver 5 in fantasy. He's the first time he went over 100 receptions, and he's getting peppered. They're finally peppering this dude. So I'm with you, man. I think that is not crazy. He's young, he's talented, and the upside's there. All right, Randy, you were on the clock with the 10th selection.
I am trying to put this in, but it's not letting me. I want to draft Mr. Trevor Lawrence. So
did you pick a team?
You know what? I may not have. I apologize.
You're good, man. So just pick 10. Justin I believe that's what Justin wants you to take. So pick 10, and then going forward, you'll select it up. The moderator is in here. Justin, let us know what you'd like.
Yeah, so I thought that you had taken that 10 spot. I went ahead and started the draft, and since I've started it, it won't let me go back in and re-invite. So I'm just going to manually input both of your picks.
Man, I am the worst. Not only am I running late, but I am making you do double work. My apologies.
Randy, you never have to apologize for making Justin do work.
Justin, that's what he's here. Yes. He actually probably enjoys. Now he's got extra stuff to do. He's like feeling real confident and strong about himself right now. He's carrying this draft. All right, I am up, and I want to go quarterback. And in years past, at this spot, I'd probably take Dak Prescott, but I am not happy with Dak Prescott, and he has way too many turnovers. And Lamar Jackson's here. I don't know what we're going to see from Lamar Jackson. I don't know what we're going to think about that. In 1 year's time, all the questions we have about Lamar, Kyler, and Dak. It's crazy, man. Like I would think that it would be easy to select from one of those 3. And right now it isn't. So if it's not easy, what the hell am I going to do? Jonathan Taylor's there. He's on the IR. Running backs have a short shelf life. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. I love Jalen Waddle. I like his upside, but I don't like his quarterback situation. I have to go quarterback. I'm going to go Lamar Jackson, and I'm just going to hope that the ceiling is there, man. And that's it with that selection. After that, Jason, you are up to finish the first round.
Yeah, I'm going to go Kyler Murray here at the end of the first round. I still believe in him. We'll see what the situation looks like next year. Get a new coach and GM.
You believe in him. You believe in him, but
yeah.
Am I crazy for making that statement, or do you agree that there are questions?
Oh no, certainly there are questions, but I think because of their rushing ability, I think Lamar Jackson and Murray can still put up plenty of fantasy points, and they will continue to do that. So, I definitely think there's question marks, but in Superflex, you go with those guys that can get you elite potential at the quarterback. So, I'm going to go Kyler Murray and flip around to Dak Prescott. So those 2 guys that you were going back and forth between. So, again, I understand that interceptions are tough, but I still think the weapons that Dallas will put around him, I think Dak is an elite. Well, maybe not elite, maybe in the next level down, but a pretty good quarterback for fantasy purposes.
Yeah, and I would have went Dak here. I'm on the clock, clearly. I would have went Dak here. I don't feel great about any of these quarterbacks available now, and I'm gonna pass. I think I'm gonna go with AJ Brown. Give me AJ Brown. I like what he's done He's still young, and him and Jalen Hurts are really connecting, and he's putting up big numbers. I think he's in the same tier as CeeDee Lamb. So give me that. And then, Randy, you are on the clock with your selection.
Yeah, I'm going to stay on the wide receiver train as well. I think we're seeing wide receivers taking better care of themselves and lasting a little bit longer. So even though I think he's like 28, 29, I'm going to go Stephon Diggs. Anybody attached to Josh Allen, I want to be a part of my team.
I'm just curious to see from all the viewers out there, if you're watching this later on, if you would, in the comment section, comment who you think is the biggest bust in the first round of all the first round picks for future dynasty purposes. I got to see this.
Yes.
And then also, so far, after the first round, who do you like for value?
Love it. Love it. All right. With the third selection, I think it is in the second round. I'm not going to do this to myself. The fourth selection. John Laub, you're on the clock. Your second team.
All right, I'm going to go with where my film study tells me. Bijan Robinson. I don't care where he lands. He's my third highest rated back in the last 10 years. We're talking Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, good. I've never seen a combination of power, speed, elusiveness, lateral cuts, vision, second level vision, pass cutting. The man is a god darn freaking stud. Give me Bijan Robinson.
All right, we have our first rookie off the board. Of course, the Devi Master himself is taking Bijan Robinson. He got the first rookie. I dig it. George, you are on the clock. Go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I was on mute.
All good.
So I was actually looking at Robinson at that pick. So I was sniped by John. It's a fantastic pick. Absolutely agree with him taking him there. I think that's just a phenomenal pick right there with Robinson. I am going to punt the quarterback again with this pick. I do get that as a super flex. Thrilled with what is available at the quarterback when there's so much other value still on the board. I am, and I'm not doing it because I'm a Miami guy, but I am going to take Jalen Waddle here. He's just an absolute stud. I love what he does on the field, and he's only in his second season, so he's still relatively young. And pairing him and Jefferson, I've got a really good young wide receiver core.
It's nice to see the world catch up on the Jalen Waddle hype, George. I only tried to hammer that into your head all last year.
I said, listen, you did, but what did I say? Tyreek Hill would be the better of the two wide receivers.
You're right.
He was.
You're right. I was hoping when Hill was out the last game that he would be out longer, and maybe Waddle will get a chance to catch up. It didn't really work out that way. All right, Shay, you're on the clock.
I just put it in. I took Deshaun Watson there.
All right, so we're looking for an uptick. How are we thinking Deshaun Watson looks in year two?
I think he's going to improve. I mean, there was definitely some rust these first few games back, but I'm expecting a bounce back next year for sure.
All right,
they
Jay.
get DeAndre Hopkins. Never know.
Yeah. Coop and Hopkins, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Numbers, man. All right, Jay, you're on the clock.
I'm going to take Jonathan Taylor here.
Man,
I still think he's pretty
me.
good. I know this was an injured league, but injury year, but yeah, I think Jonathan Taylor's my pick there.
Man, all right. So I was going to go Jonathan Taylor. So I'm up. I went. Am I? No. Who's the fifth selection?
That's me.
I almost gave Randy my selection. Good thing I caught myself. You would have sniped me.
Oh, I got sniped because I was going to take Jonathan Taylor there as well. He's still my RB1. No disrespect to Bijan and all the other guys, but until I see you do it, you haven't done it. For me, I guess I'm just going to have to. It is Dynasty, and this is like a really, really, really rough spot. I can't pass up Christian McCaffrey in that Shanahan offense. So don't love it here, but that's who I'm going to take.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm up now, and I think this is in the similar vein to you taking Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to go with Cooper Kupp, and I'm going to hope that when it comes back to me, maybe I can go young, but I know I'm going to have two picks close together. I'm young with Joe Burrow, but I can also win now. So this is going to be my win now squad, I think. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Cooper Kupp. And then, George, you're back on the clock.
All right. I think I'm gonna go running back here. Guy got injured in the middle of the season, but prior to that, he was absolutely crushing it. I'm going with Breece Hall. I got to find him on the list here, but I'm going to go Breece Hall here from the New York Jets.
I like that selection. Breece Hall let us know that the whole world was lucky he didn't play a full season this year. So, George, now you're lucky you got to add him to your roster, my man. Shay,
Yep,
you are on the clock. What was that, George? I'm sorry. I cut you off.
No, good. I'm trying to add him, but it's not allowing me to add him.
He's in there now, George.
You got him, baby.
All right.
All right, Shay, go ahead, my man.
Thank you, Justin.
You're muted, buddy.
All right. Yeah, Coach. So you got me on a snipe on that one with Cooper Kupp. So I'll take the next best receiver, in my opinion, and I'll go Tyreek Hill here.
All right. Tyreek Hill and Waddle again. Like last year, I think they were starting to go around the same round. Both of them in the second round. I love it. All right. The Gridiron Scholar, you are up with back-to-back picks.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out. I have a guy in my queue. I got him. My man, my number one wide receiver last year, Garrett Wilson. He was unfreaking believable. He was better as a pro than at Ohio State. If he gets any competent quarterback play, the sky is the absolute limit. He is blowing away NFL defensive backs. He did the same thing at Ohio State. What I loved about him at Ohio State, I never saw a wide receiver get so much separation deep. He is just a phenomenal route runner and separator at the deep level of the field beyond 12 yards. Boy, if the Jets can just get a quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, anyone in there who's efficient, the sky's the limit for Garrett Wilson. So I'm going to take him there. Now, this is a strange part because I started with two wide receivers. The values at running back, but I do like the quarter. I probably need a quarterback in this position. So but you know what? I don't care. You know what I'm going to do? I'm taking Kenneth Walker, my number 2 running back last year from Seattle. He showed me a lot. He can be a special back in a Pete Carroll offense. I'll take Kenneth Walker here.
All right. So Garrett Wilson, Kenneth Walker, 2 second-year players. Jamar Chase, a lot of youth there, a lot of talent. All right, Shay, you're on the clock.
All right, here I'm going to go. Let me go Mark Andrews at tight end.
All right, we got a tight end off the board. George Reed, you're up, my friend. George is muted again. There's a phantom that keeps pushing the mute button in George's computer. George, unmute yourself, my friend.
Yeah, I realize that. I'm sorry. I'm also going tight end here.
Really?
I understand had a really bad year. I still think he is the best tight end in all of the NFL right now. That's going to be Kyle Pitts. So taking him in the 3rd round, absolutely delighted with that.
George still believes. And now I'm on the clock. This is my win now team. I went Joe Burrow. I went Cooper Kupp. There's a 27-year-old running back who just finished RB1. He's got injury history. I'm a little concerned about that, but the value's there. I'll try to go young later. I'm going to go with Austin Eckler. I'm going to pair him with Kupp and Burrow and hope that this team can just give me one ride and I can get enough youth that I can continue to be solid. But I want to win at year 1. So I'm going to go that route. I'm going Austin Eckler. Randy, you're on the clock.
Man, I thought you were describing the guy I was going to take when you were talking about a veteran running back with some injury issues, but then you said the 101. I'm going to go with a guy in a similar boat in an offense that I think's ascending, and I'm going to go Saquon Barkley. This is going to be my win now team. He's only 25. He was Bijan Robinson before Bijan Robinson, so give me Saquon Barkley.
All right, Jason, you are on the clock.
Yeah, I'm going to go. This is a very risky pick, but I like to secure my my quarterbacks early. So I'm going to go with Trey Lance. I think he has the rushing upside of a Justin Fields, and being a part of that San Francisco offense. He should have a pretty good season next year.
Iowa State's calling. All right, we have a show coming up in starting in like 2 weeks called Between Two Urinals, where we're gonna be debating for 20 minutes, And if you guys want to, maybe we'll link you guys up to argue Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. But anyway, in the meantime, Shay, you're on the clock with your selection.
So I already have my 2 quarterbacks here. I think I'm going to go Devontae Adams now.
All right, I like it. All right, with the 8th selection, George, you're back on the clock, and he's not muted. We're looking good.
No, I'm not muted. I didn't hit the mute button this time, and neither did the ghost in the house. So my first 2 picks, I went wide receiver. It's a 3 wide receiver league, and I'm going to continue to hammer this wide receiver position. Give me the Swiss Army knife out of San Francisco. Give me some Deebo Samuel to pair with Jefferson and Waddle.
All right, there goes Deebo. All right, John Laub, you're on the clock. The Phantom got him this time. The Gridiron Scholar.
Sorry, my fault.
Where's Ash? Is Ashton Kutcher about to pop? Are you guys punking me?
No, I have a cold, so when I sneeze, I don't want to interrupt or pop.
Fair.
So I have my Bijan Robinson, and I don't love the quarterbacks here. The value isn't there. So I'm going to go with another running back who I feel comfortable is still relatively young. Najee Harris, Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll team him up with Bijan Robinson. I think they both can catch 50 passes in a year.
Excellent. All right, Randy, you're on the clock.
Yeah, for me, give me a guy that I anticipate bouncing back. I think he's going to get a QB upgrade, even though his QB was okay this year. He had a career renaissance himself, but I'm going to take DK Metcalf. I'm going to, take that guy who's going to be this team's wide receiver too, that's going to have winning weeks. So I'll take Metcalf.
Excellent. Now I'm on the clock, and talk about ascending offenses. I'm taking a running back who's in ascending offense, who's young and who really looked hot a few times this year. And there's 2 of them. 2 young running backs I was considering. One of them was DeAndre Swift, but I actually like Travis Etienne's upside more so than DeAndre Swift. So give me Travis Etienne. And then, Jay, you're up for back-to-back picks.
I was debating between Etienne and Harris.
Fair.
So I'm going to go 2 wide receivers here, back-to-back. First one, T. Higgins. I think he's pretty good. And then I'll go with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Got another really good season this year.
Man, and then I feel like there's definitely a tier break after Higgins and St. Brown. So I don't necessarily feel absolutely prepared. I don't know if it's time for Quentin Johnson or Jackson Smith in the Jigba yet either. But I think I'm going to – man. Is it too soon? I know I think there's a few guys that are going to go before Jackson Smith and Jigba, but I am considering him here. Let me look at running back. I'm sorry, I'm holding you guys up. You know what? This team it's got Lamar Jackson. It's got A.J. Brown. It's got Travis Etienne. This dude is just a guy who just keeps producing, and I know the floor is high, so I'm actually gonna shift here. I'm going to go with Nick Chubb. I'm going to solidify my running backs. I know I'm going to be able to put him in every week, and I know the floor is very high. So give me Nick Chubb there in the 4th round. Randy, you're on the clock.
No, this one's I believe this one's George. I take that back. I'm sorry. I was looking over my own pick.
It is confusing. It
is just I'm going to go with a guy that I think I've kind of fallen out of love with, but I think this is good value at this point in the draft, and that's DeAndre Swift. I am nervous that he's going to re-sign as a free agent. I do believe he's a Dan Campbell kneecap biting kind of guy, but I'm still going to buy into Swift.
All right, so there you have it. Swift is off the board, and now John Laub, you are back on the clock.
I was doing my rookie research today, and I was looking at JSN and rewatching tape from 2 years ago. Where am I going to rank him? But what I was thinking in today's draft, boy, is Ohio State loaded. I had Garrett Wilson at the top of my board last year. And this right now with this pick, I'm going with my number 3 guy from last year, Chris Olave. He had over 1,000 yards. And what did he miss? Like 2 games this year? And he had Andy Dalton, Taysom Hill, and Jameis Winston throwing the football. I love Olave. Given me here with CeeDee Lamb and Olave, I feel real good and real young at the wide receiver position.
All right, George, you're on the clock.
Yes, I am. I'm on the clock. I'm going to go running back now. Most people, not a guy I'm very high on. At least I wasn't. But I feel getting Javonte Williams in the 4th round in this draft is almost a steal, especially given his age and the production that we've seen from him prior to his injury. I'm not out on the Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson as much as most people are. I think a lot of that was their coaching. So I'm excited to get Jamar Williams at this point.
All right, Shay, you're on the clock. Javonte Williams.
Right. Javonte Williams, yeah, Javonte.
I'm gonna take a rookie running back here from Alabama, Jahmyr Gibbs.
All right.
Nice.
We got 2 rookie running backs off the board. All right, Jason, you're on the clock.
All right. I guess I'm going to take Travis Kelce here and then try and flip him to one of you guys that are going all out at playoff time.
I like it. I like it. You're already scheming, man. That makes this. I know this draft is legit when you're already thinking like that. So I appreciate it. Randy, you're on the clock.
I'm actually, there we go, Travis Kelce, because I'm watching the draft as it unfolds. So this is my win now team with a running back entering year 7 and 1, entering year 5 of their career. So I've got to get a wide receiver I believe in. I think this guy's also going to get a QB upgrade. As a matter of fact, I know it as a Colts fan. Give me Michael Pittman Jr. and let's go all in on this squad.
All right, and I am making a selection here. I'm going to go with Tony Pollard. I think Ezekiel Elliott, the Cowboys have an out in his contract. I think they're either going to cut him, let him walk, or they are going to. I think it's either going to be a pay cut or they're going to let him walk. And I'm going to go with Tony Pollard. I think he's the running back to own right now in Dallas. All right, George, you're back on the clock, my friend.
Yep. So outside of Mahomes, I've gone relatively young with my squad so far, with both Breece Hall and Kyle Pitts. I'm going to stay in that young position. I've got a quarterback I'm very confident in, but I'm going to take another young quarterback, and he's going to be very young. I'm going to go with C.J. Stroud from Ohio State. I want to get that rookie quarterback.
Ooh,
all right.
I like it.
C.J. Stroud, he is gone, and next we have Shay on the clock.
All right. With the news of DeAndre Hopkins getting traded, I'm definitely going to take Hollywood Brown here.
All right, there goes Hollywood Brown. John Laub, you are on the clock with back-to-back selections.
So I got a little lucky. I rolled the dice, and I hope there was value at the veteran quarterbacks right here. The first veteran quarterback I'm going to take is Russell Wilson, and then I'm going to go up for upside. You had mentioned an ascending offense. I was not a fan of this guy coming out of the draft, but I was impressed by what he did this year. I love the coach. I'm going to go Daniel Jones. I got a veteran in his 30s and a young guy who might be reaching his peak. I'll take the upside with Daniel Jones and Russell Wilson.
All right, Daniel Jones is gone, man. So we're seeing the shift. This is what I wanted to see. It's the first dynasty mock. We're seeing Tony Pollard go in the 4th round. I think that's a shift. Seeing Daniel Jones, I think that's definitely a shift as well. So I'm enjoying this. This is definitely good research. Shay, you were on the clock.
All right, so George took C.J. Stroud, right? That was his pick. That was that rookie?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to go Bryce Young here.
Bam!
Man, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young. George, you're back on the clock.
I was actually going to take Bryce Young with this pick. I was going to have Mahomes, Stroud, and Young, and be set at quarterback. So that kind of disappoints me a little bit, but it is an absolutely fantastic pick there. Now I have to pivot.
That's all right, because Justin's finding a makeshift person. He got it done. So now you have to start your pivot because your clock is
fine. So I'm sticking with the youth movement here. I don't know if it's brave or stupid to pair 2 Atlanta Falcons players, but I am going to go with Drake London. I love what he was able to do to get that quarterback upgrade that I expect them to get this offseason. and hopefully Pitts and London can become anchors in the skill positions for me on this team.
All right. I am going to make a selection now with a guy that I think is only going to continue to rise. He is a bad man. He is an alpha wide receiver, and he is going to be finishing, I'd say, top 7 wide receivers next season. That's George Pickens. Throw George Pickens the damn football, please. All this dude does
I
is
just
make
put him in my queue.
spectacular plays. Like just throw George Pickens the football easy. Offensive coordinator, figure it out. All right, that's the selection. Randy, you're on the clock.
Yeah, let me hit the toilet tribe with a little fact. So this guy tore his ACL about this time a year ago. Since week 12, since his bye, he's been the wide receiver 8 on the season. Give me Chris Godwin on this veteran build. Looking like Chris Godwin again.
Godwin, I like it. What did Kyle from the FF fellas used to call Chris Godwin, Randers? Do you remember?
I don't.
You call him Chris Godwin Sheps because when he was coming out, I compared him. I said he was a hybrid between Steve Smith Sr. and Odell Beckham Jr. And when I said that, they told me I was bananas.
The one that I remember was the guys at playerprofiler.com. They had him as because his first name's God. They had him looking like our Lord and Savior if you practiced, I guess, Western religion.
Yeah. I take it. All right, Jason, you're on the clock.
Yeah, I'm going to take Terry McLaurin.
Scary Terry.
I think he's Scary Terry. F1 McLaurin. Yeah, like him.
All right. Shay, you're on the clock.
I'm going to go here and take Ramondre Stevenson.
Ramondre. All right. George, let's get him.
So I had to take myself off mute. I didn't want to talk while on mute. I know Coach would probably lose his mind if we continued to do that.
Yeah.
So I've got my 3 wide receivers. I got a running back. I think I'm going to hammer the running back again. I do believe there is an age cliff for the running backs, but I don't believe that age cliff applies at all to Derrick Henry. I think he's just an absolute freak of nature. So I'm going to run Derrick Henry till the wheels fall off. This is kind of being built up like a win now team with a little bit of youth. I know Derrick Henry doesn't meet that youth, but he's easily can finish as a top 5 RB for me. So this will help me challenge for a championship this year.
All right, John Laub, you're on the clock.
I'm not on mute. I don't want Coach to get mad at me and never invite me back.
So when I have the thumbnail created for this episode, I'm going to have to make sure a mute symbol is put.
So I'm going to build my team around the wide receiver position, which I love to do in Dynasty. I'm going the Slim Reaper, Devonta Smith, man. He is just everything I love in the modern receiver. He gets incredible separation. He is so dangerous as the number 2 wide receiver attached to Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. He's always open. I love Devonta Smith. Made me a lot of money in DFS this year.
My man. All right, Randy, on the clock.
Yes, sir. Just want to confirm this is tight end premium.
It is not. It's standard. It's
okay.
1 PPR.
But all the same, I'm going to take a guy who finished the season as the tight end 2 and finally started to live out his potential when he was Kyle Pitts before Kyle Pitts, and I'll take TJ Hawkinson. Dude was an absolute animal in Minnesota.
No mercy. Sweep the leg. All right.
Sweep the leg.
Yeah, it's the Hawk, man, from Cobra Kai.
Karate Kid.
Yeah,
hey, I saw the original in the theater. I'm so old.
Oh, God. Here we go. Did you have to walk there both ways, John?
I had a bike. My mom let me bike into Waterbury.
Yeah, through the snow. All right, I'm. You know what? I'm gonna spice things up a little bit. I got Lamar, AJ Brown, Travis Etienne. Give me Quentin Johnson. I was thinking, Mike Evans probably would go here. He's getting a little old. Let me draft a guy. I believe he's 6'4", who I'm hoping could be the next Mike Evans. I think it's fair to get my first rookie here. 5th pick, 11th selection in the 5th round. So give me Quentin Johnson, and then Jay, you're on the clock. Back-to-back picks.
I'm going to go 2 wide receivers here too as well. I'm going to go with DJ Moore here for the first one. See what happens in Carolina with the QB situation there. And then I'm going to go Deontay Johnson. The hope is he scores more touchdowns next year.
Did he have 1 or 0?
The hope.
He had 0. He finished the year with no touchdowns.
He should. You got it. After he beats 0.
I'm on the clock now, and I got to go quarterback. I feel like it, and I think it's too early for Levis. I do. I think Levis is the quarterback 3. I think he's going to go top 10. That's the rumblings right now. Some people now, or CJ Stroud's dropping a little bit. With Levis is popping up. Is it too early? Should I make that? So I'm thinking Rodgers. Rodgers, I would only go Rodgers because I'm thinking where does he go? Does he go to Vegas? Does he go to San Francisco? I don't know. Cousins is steady Eddie. Like, he is steady Eddie in that offense. And Levis, he ain't going to start for me right away. It's going to take some time. Man, I don't like making this selection, but the floor is there. And damn, I don't like it at all. Should I do it? Man, you know what? Actually, forget that. I'm gonna continue to punt. Give me Joe Mixon. All right, all that grumbling. Give me Joe Mixon. Let me get a dude there attached to that offense. Randy, you're on the clock.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm wanting to keep this team young, not wanting a bunch of, because I think this team's going to be a year away. But if that's the case, I'm going to continue with the start 3 wide receiver, and I'm going to take Jordan Addison out of USC. I know it's a skosh early, but with having Diggs and Metcalf to anchor the 1 and 2, I can handle the fluctuation in the rookie season of Jordan Addison. Cannot wait to see where he lands.
All right, I like it. Jordan Addison is gone, and that is right before the Gridiron Scholar. So, John, how do you feel about that, and where are you going?
I love that pick. He's my number 1 wide receiver. I think Jordan Addison is a slam dunk. I think he's in the Garrett Wilson, Stephon Diggs, Jerry Jeudy bucket. He cannot be caught at the second level. He thrived in Pittsburgh, goes to a Lincoln Riley offense. He was great until he got injured. Absolutely my number 1 guy. I think he's the best route runner in the class, most diversified wide receiver. I was hoping to take him. But the coach was scaring me, dropping my quarterback that I want. So I'm going to go with the boring old veteran because I need a quarterback on this team. I'm going to go Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is gone. And, guys, this is about the 10-minute warning. We're halfway through the 6th round. We got about, I would say, 12 to 15 minutes left. So we're going to pick the tempo up here a little bit. All right, so John went. George, you were on the clock, and you were followed by Shay.
So I'm going to request next time that I don't have to draft on either side of Mr. Laub here because he has been sniping me left and right. Also needs a quarterback. It is also a team I feel like I can compete with right now. So I was definitely eyeing Kirk Cousins with this pick. Obviously not going to get him. Go ahead and give me Jared Goff. I do believe that he will re-sign in Detroit. I think they like what they got out of him this year. I don't see why they don't just continue to roll with him.
All right, and then Shay went with Amari Cooper. And next, Jason, you're on the clock, followed by Randy.
Yeah, I heard Quentin Johnston. I heard Jordan Addison. Did Jackson Smith and Jigba go?
He's still available.
I'll take him, please. Thank you.
All right, Jackson Smith and Jigba off the board. Randy, you were on the clock.
Veteran team, give me the guy who looked like himself down the stretch. Give me George Kittle. I did say in a tweet the other day that if Kyle Shanahan does not keep starting Brock Purdy, I'm going to fight Kyle Shanahan in the street because he made George Kittle again.
All right, so Jay, I believe it's Randy's on the clock. He took George Kittle, so now I am up. I got Burrow, Kupp, Eckler, Pollard, Pickens. Probably could go with another wide receiver here. But I don't feel comfortable with any. Actually, you know what? I like this guy. I think he's ascending as well. And I'm going to go with Brandon Ayuk. I think he's going to start to continue to take some more touches away from Deebo Samuel. So give me Ayuk. George, you're on the clock.
Yeah, I'm going with the youth movement on this team, clearly. I'm going to go with what I believe is the best wide receiver in Detroit, and that's Jameson Williams.
All right, Jameson Williams off the board. All right, and then we have Shay, followed by John Laub for 2.
Give me Josh Jacobs here.
Oh.
You think he goes back to Vegas?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. All right. Josh Jacobs off the board. John, you're on the clock for 2, my friend.
I definitely wanted Josh Jacobs, so I love that pick, my friend. So I will go Miles Sanders. I need a running back here. I'll take a veteran running back. Hope he comes back to Philadelphia. If not, hope for a better landing spot. And I'm gonna just talk because I love this guy. So I'm going to be on the train. I don't know if the rest of the world is on the train, but I am. Give me the Zach Charbonnet train, baby. He is all man. Can't wait to see where Zach Charbonnet lands. He's my number 2 running back in the draft class.
Charbonnet. He's off the board. So we went Miles Sanders. We went Charbonnet. Shay, you're on the clock.
Give me Cam Akers here.
Dang. Dalvin Cook. He's just dropping. All right, George, you're on the clock, my friend.
I am definitely on the clock. I am entrenched in this youth movement that I've got going on. I'm not sure who is going to be the quarterback. I'd be terrified with this pick if it is going to be Malik Willis, but I believe in the talent of Treylon Burks, so I'm going to go Treylon Burks.
All right, Treylon. I have to go. This is my win now team. I got Burrow, Kupp, Eckler, Pollard, Pickens, Ayuk. I see. Dalvin Cook did go. He went.
No, Dalvin Cook didn't go.
Oh, so you took Cam Akers.
It took Cam Akers.
Yeah, Justin put Cook in for you. So yeah, it was Cam Akers. I'm gonna go with Dalvin Cook in my selection because I just think I'm winning now.
Pick.
He gives me an opportunity to win now, and then if I need a player at any other position, if I need a quarterback, I can probably flip one of these veterans to somebody who is running back needy. All right, so on the clock right now we have Randy followed by Jason.
I know this is my win now team, and I'm going to hit this football podcast with a baseball reference, and I'm going to throw you a curveball, and I'm going to be the one on this team that drafts Will Levis. I love the tools. I think he'll probably wind up being a Colt, which will be like a two-way go for me, but I like Will Levis, but I was the same guy who liked Josh Allen and Daniel Jones coming out of college. So give me Big Lev and his mayonnaise and his coffee.
That one's for Nino. That one's for Nino right there. That's his boy. All right, Jay, you're on the clock.
I'm going to go the all-injury team here, and I'm going to go J.K. Dobbins.
All right, Dobbins off the board. Shay, followed by George.
Right here, I will go Mike Evans.
There goes Mike Evans. George, you're on the clock, my friend.
Yep, so I'm definitely in need of another quarterback to pair with Mr. Goff. I'm going to win now. Let's go Tua Tagovailoa from Miami. I want to pair him.
Had to do it. He had to do it. Tua is gone. Laub, you're up, followed by Randy.
So I'm looking at the running back. Oh, wait 1 second. Maybe there's a tight end I like here. This team does not have. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my tight end here. I'm going to take Dallas Goedert of the Eagles.
Stud. Absolute stud. All right, Dallas Goedert off the board. Randy, you were up.
I'm going to take the quarterback of my number 1 buy-on offense in the league. You're talking a rookie quarterback this year with a rookie wide receiver, a second-year tight end, and a second-year running back. Give me Kenny Pickett. I think they're going to get a new offensive coordinator, and I think you're going to see big things in the AFC North because you got to play offense to keep up.
All right, and I'm on the clock. Lamar, A.J. Brown, I got some veterans. I got some talent. Shay, I know the Baker Mayfield experiment was fun, but I got to believe that Matthew Stafford is coming back, man. So I got to go with Matthew Stafford. I think hopefully he rested up. He spent some time in the hyperbolic chamber this year.
Yeah.
And right as I made that pick, something turned on here. I'm going to turn that off. In the meantime, Jason, you're on the clock for 2.
We go Rashad Bateman here. Just a team full of quarterbacks and wide receivers here for this last row here. And then I'm going to go got to pick a running back here. You know what? I'm going to go Sean Tucker out of Syracuse.
Ooh, track star. That dude's very talented. Man, I'm contemplating Kayshon Boutte here in the 10th round. I'm also thinking about Zach Evans. Just sorry to drop some names here, but I am on the clock. I need a wide receiver. So I'm going to go with the guy, a freak show. high upside, and I'm going to go with Keyshawn Butte. And now, Randy, you're on the clock.
I heard you say the name Zach Evans and my heart dropped. I was like, oh my God, he's going to snipe me. I will take Zach Evans. Good enough receiver, 5'11", 212 pounds. That's prototype NFL size. Can't wait to see him at the combine.
All right. Next, we have John Laub, followed by George.
So I'm in a weird conundrum because I need a quarterback here. But I can't take the two old men, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, in a dynasty draft because I don't think there's any value in the long run. So I have two that I'm going to choose from, and I'm just going to go with the guy. I don't think you'd have to pay for him here, but I think there's value. I'm going Geno Smith of the Seahawks. I think he's going to remain the starter in Seattle. He impressed the hell out of me this year. I'm going to go Geno.
All right. So I took Keyshawn Butte. Randy took Zach Evans, and then the Gridiron Scholar himself, he took Geno Smith. Now, George, you are on the clock.
And for the first time this draft, I actually felt comfortable waiting on my pick because Mr. Laub took Dallas Goedert, which means I knew he wasn't going to take a tight end coming back, so I felt comfortable. Give me Dalton Schultz for my win now team that I've got going here.
All right, so Dalton Schultz is going 8. Geno Smith went 9. And Zach Evans went 10, just for clarification in the background there. And then once that all gets sorted out, Shay, you will be on the clock with the 7th selection.
All right. I'm going to take I definitely need a tight end right now. So I'm going to go. I was going to take Schultz, but I'll take Darren Waller.
All right, Darren Waller is gone. Jason's up, followed by Randy.
Let's see.
Jason's in deep thought.
I'm gonna go with Christian Kirk here.
All right, I was considering him
this year, so
I was considering Kirk earlier. I like it.
Click it. There he goes.
All right, Randy, you're on the clock.
So this is my win now team. I'm going to assume this guy reunites in Las Vegas with Devontae Adams. I'm going to take A-Rod, and Herbs and A-Rod would be a nice 1-2 while Will Levis develops.
Man, dang it! That was like my last hope there. A-Rod. So this is going to seem crazy. This is my win now team. You took Rodgers. I was hoping he fell. You think Rodgers is going to reunite in Vegas. I'm going to go with the guy that I think might reunite with his roots out there in San Francisco. I'm going to go with Tom Brady. Give me one year. Hey, it's the 8th round. This is my win now squad. If he can go out there to San Francisco with Ayuk, if he can go out there with Debo and George Kittle, he's not going to have to throw the ball 40 yards down the field to get a lot done. Also, Christian McCaffrey. So I ultimately think, you heard it here, Tom Brady ends up in San Francisco. So give me that selection. George, you're on the clock.
Yep, and this is my basically all rookie sophomore team. Has anybody taken Anthony Richardson yet?
From Florida? No.
Then I'm going to take Anthony Richardson.
Excellent. All right, Anthony Richardson is off the board. Shay, you are up, and then John Laub, you have 2 selections.
Right here, I'll go Jerry Jeudy.
Oh, I don't like you.
Sniped again.
I did. He just took. I was eyeballing him in big time. All right. I'm going to take another rookie. I like to plant some flags early. I love Israel Abanikanda of Pittsburgh. I think he's the most underrated player in this draft. I think if he lands with the right franchise, he gets an opportunity to start. I think he's a total stud. So give me the Pitt Panther in round number 8 here. And then I need a tight end. I got my 2 quarterbacks. I'd like to get a tight end. So I'm going to go with my man. I'm banking on the tight end to rise with Justin Fields. I'm going to go Cole Kmet.
All right. So you took Cole Kmet, and who was your other selection?
Israel Abanikanda, Pittsburgh Panthers running back.
All right. So just put a random name in there, Justin, and then Shay, once he gets that in, you're back on the clock.
Yeah, I'll go Jackson Smith here.
All right. Najigba?
I had him.
Yes.
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, you have him?
Um,
I will go Keyshawn Booty.
Okay, I took him as well. Butte is gone.
Damn. All right.
It's hard to tell because we weren't able to put
I
these
know, 'cause
names
the-
in. So
I
as Sleeper gets it going and we do these mocks a little later on. Next time we do this to keep track, we'll have a separate message board chat where we could just post the names in that are drafted just so we can keep track. Probably help Justin out as well. So
I'll
he's putting these in there.
go,
Where are you going?
Hopkins. I'll go D-Hop.
D-Hop off the board. George, you're up.
All right. Gonna continue with my. It allows me to select him. I'm gonna go with the future running back in Buffalo. In my opinion, is gonna be Mr. James Cook.
James Cook. All right. I'm going to go with the tight end here, and I'm going to go with the first rookie tight end off the board. Give me Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame. You cannot go wrong with the tight end out of Notre Dame. So I'm going to go there in the 9th round. And then next on the board, we have Randy followed by Jason.
This one right here, I have to thank the sleeper algorithm and ADP for this one right here because I'm getting an absolute steal. Give me Calvin Ridley in what's going to be one of the best young offenses in the AFC. He's way down the board because it's dynasty, but he'll be in a contract year with Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence. Big fan.
Excellent. All right, Jason, you were on the clock, followed by Shay.
yeah, I'll take Alvin Kamara, aging running back here, but I think he's got a couple more years in him.
All right, Kamara's gone. Shay, where are we going?
I'll go. Go running back. I'll take. Guess I'll go Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones off the board now with the 8th selection. Give me George, followed by the Gridiron Scholar.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with wide receiver out in Los Angeles, Mike Williams here. Just gonna keep loading up on these wide receivers at this point. There's just so much value there.
All right. And then next on the clock is we have the Gridiron Scholar followed by Randy.
I'm going to go with Dameon Pierce of the Texans and hope he keeps the job. There's a little risk they could bring in into deep running back class, but I'm going to hope that Pierce keeps the job in Houston.
All right, there goes Pierce. I was considering him as well. Randy, you're on the clock.
I'm going to keep this one young. I don't think I've heard this name. I like the ascending receiving profile. Give me Tank Bigsby.
Ooh.
Auburn, I like it. Solid selection. All right, Tank off the board. I'm going to go rookie as well. I'm going down to North Carolina. I'm going to get my guy Josh Downs.
All right, Coach, I wanted him on the way back.
I love me some Josh Downs, John.
Me
All
too,
right, so
baby.
That's it. So I'm selecting him. Jay, you're on the clock for back-to-back picks. So you'll kick off the 10th round, and we'll speed through this thing. We'll be wrapping this thing up. So go ahead.
All right, I don't have a tight end yet, so I'm going to go Pat Freiermuth here. I think he's had a good season this season, so that should be a good one. And then I got to get a second running back here. You guys really sniped me there at the end. I was going to go Tank Bigsby. I think I'll go Kendre Miller out of TCU for my next pick.
I like it. All right, I'm going to go with Greg Dulcich. I think he's a tight end not getting talked about enough because he ended the season on an injured reserve out of UCLA. So give me Greg Dulcich as the last selection for this squad. And then Randy, you're up, followed by John.
I'm going to keep it young on this team. This is going to be my fun team. This is going to be Mr. Jalen Hyatt, wide receiver out of Tennessee. Keep him young.
All right, so we got Kendre Miller went, Greg Dulcich went, and Jalen Hyatt went. So those are the three off the board for Justin, putting those in the background. And then John Laub, you're up, followed by George Reed.
So I'm going to stay at the wide receiver position. Cortland Sutton is not gone yet, so I'll take Cortland Sutton here in round 9.
All right, excellent.
And round 10.
Right, yeah, round 10. This is the last round here. All right, so George Reed, you are on the clock, followed by Shay.
Not a big fan of stacking wide receivers from the same team, but at this point in time, he's just a PPR machine. So give me Keenan Allen. I'll stack him with Mike Williams, and maybe I can swing a deal for Herbert later on in the year.
Man, watching Justin catch up in the background after inputting these rookies is phenomenal. He is doing the Lord's work. He's going Keenan Allen here, so you're good. You're caught up. We got Keenan Allen off the board. Shay, you're on the clock. Shay is followed by Jason and then Randy.
I'm going to go Juju Smith-Schuster for my last pick.
All right, so Christian Watson went, and then Juju's going now at team 6. And then for team 5, we got Randy. Where are we going, Randy?
Oh, man. I'm going to gamble that this team's going to try to fix their defense, and this is one of a handful of rookies like in the recent years to rush for 1,000 yards. It's going to seem crazy, but give me Tyler Algier.
Oh, not crazy.
All right, Tyler Algier is gone. I'm on the clock, and this is another selection that I got to tip my hat to my guy Nino, because he was talking to me about this guy this offseason, a wide receiver at SMU, going to be at the Senior Bowl, 6'3", 206 pounds. That's Rashee Rice. So a wide receiver, when he has the last name Rice, that usually works out pretty decently. So I'm going to go there. You know, Sidney Rice, he was a good guy, but I'm really talking about Jerry Rice. All right, George Reed on the clock.
Yeah, so this is my really young team. I want to give it a little bit more youth. I have enough. I'm going to go with Isaiah Pacheco for Kansas City.
Check your lineups, friends. Pacheco just went. All right, Shay, you're on the clock. And then John Laub, wrap this thing up. Is Shay muted? Yeah, he's muted. We're good. That was the last. We had to do it once more. We couldn't finish the draft without doing that again.
Rashad White right here.
All right,
some Starburst didn't want to.
Good, man. You got to have a little sweet stirring, especially since you got another podcast coming up next. All right, John, you get to finish this thing, my friend. Who you taking?
I'm going to take just a personal favorite here. He might not even get drafted as high as I like him, but I'm taking Zay Flowers, wide receiver, Boston College. I think he's a 3rd-round pick. I love Zay Flowers, so give me Zay Flowers here.
Shout out to the Northeast, huh, John?
Yay!
Yeah, man.
I saw Zay Flowers live against UConn. He's been very good. I think he's very underrated in the draft process.
Funny story. I know we have to let somebody go. We got to wrap this thing up. But we bought a puppy like 2 or 3 months ago from somebody in Connecticut, and we actually met at the whatever the name of that hunting store is across the street from UConn Stadium. One of the big hunting stores. Yeah, it was a Cabela, dude. I'm literally across the street from. Like, I could throw a stone at UConn Stadium. So I was actually there like a month ago. But anyway, I digress. We could talk more like that on a standard show. This is not a standard show. We are here with a bunch of guests, and I want to thank all the guests for helping us with the first Dynasty Startup mock draft of the year, gentlemen. It is going to be very fun to see how these things progress. It was absolutely incredible getting to see the rise and the fall from some of these players in just the span of one season. But once again, I'm going to tip my hat. John Laub, the Gridiron Scholar, at GridironSchol91 on the Twitter. Randers at DWZ Memphis on the Twitter. Jay at _ Jason Stein on the Twitter, and Shay at Shay tweeted that on the Twitter. Again, George Reed, my guy, Justin Stevens. Appreciate you all. Everybody check this out, toiletstitles.com. Subscribe, comment, like, and everybody who guested earlier in the show, they mentioned where you could find them. They're all working on great work. So if you just tuned in late, go back to the beginning of the show, see where these guys are from, go follow them, go like their stuff, go ingest all of it, because we need content right now. It's about time for the off season. So everybody, we will catch you all next week. Take care.